14 shocking acts behind Kim Jong-un's rule. In the modern political landscape, few leaders command as much scrutiny or fear as North Korea's Kim Jong-un. Since assuming power in 2011, he has crafted an image built on absolute authority, tightly controlled information, and a system where dissent is treated as an existential threat to the regime. Much of what we know comes from defectors, foreign intelligence, and rare leaks that slip past the country's borders. Together, they form a troubling picture of a leader whose decisions reach deep into the private lives of citizens and even into the ranks of his own family. Today, we step into one of the world's most closed political systems to examine a series of actions that have shocked international observers. These decisions reveal not only the nature of Kim Jong-un's rule, but also the ways power is maintained in an isolated authoritarian state. This is an examination of state control, loyalty, and the consequences of absolute rule. Inside North Korea's borders, the grip on information remains one of the most rigid in the world. Watching foreign media, especially entertainment from South Korea, is treated as a serious offense. Recent leaked footage, almost unheard of coming from inside the country, showed two men standing before a public tribunal. Their offense? Viewing foreign shows. Both were sentenced to years in confinement, an indication that the leadership treats even passive exposure to outside culture as a threat capable of undermining state ideology. The harshness of the sentence reflects the regime's belief that foreign content is not entertainment, but ideological contamination. Another case that gained worldwide attention involved an American student, Otto Warmbier, who visited North Korea as part of a guided tour. Foreign visitors are given strict rules designed to maintain the state's image. Warmbier's decision to enter a restricted area and remove a political banner led to a severe legal response. After being detained at the airport, he appeared weeks later in a controlled press event, visibly distressed, pleading for leniency. He was sentenced to a long term of hard labor, an act many nations saw as a way for Pyongyang to send a political message to the international community. Analysts described it as a demonstration of the regime's willingness to assert control over any perceived challenge, even from foreign nationals. Inside North Korea, however, the consequences for citizens can be far more sweeping. Reports from neighboring countries describe the fate of a former singer once associated with Kim Jong-un personally. According to sources, she was arrested on accusations related to banned material and was subsequently executed after a rapid legal process. Her arrest also swept up performers and musicians who were part of the same artistic circles. Outside analysts interpreted the event as a way to reinforce the regime's control over the country's cultural sphere and ensure that anyone with past ties remains entirely loyal or silent. One of the most debated cases involves a mother who saved her children from a house fire. In most countries, this would be seen as an act of instinct and bravery. But in North Korea, where portraits of the ruling family are required to be displayed in every home, authorities criticized her for failing to preserve these images during the fire. The outcome was a heavy sentence that shocked observers worldwide. It demonstrated how deeply embedded the state's expectations are, extending even into the most personal moments of crisis. The internal struggle for power has also reached Kim Jong-un's own relatives. His uncle, Jang Song-taek, once considered one of the most influential figures in government, was removed from office and later executed following accusations of disloyalty. International analysts viewed this as one of the clearest examples of Kim Jong-un consolidating power early in his rule. Despite Jong's long-standing role as mentor and advisor, and his marriage to Kim Jong-un's aunt, the leadership determined that any alternative center of influence posed an unacceptable threat. The message was unmistakable. No position, no history, and no family connection could guarantee immunity. This pattern extended to individuals who once appeared central to the regime's ceremonial displays. Reports surfaced that 5 of the 7 officials who carried Kim Jong-il's coffin during the state funeral later faced execution. The reasons were never fully explained. Some speculated that they fell out of favor or expressed discontent. Others believed it was an internal purge designed to eliminate anyone seen as hesitant about the successor's authority. Whatever the motivation, the event illustrated the unpredictability of internal power dynamics. Beyond individual cases, broader reports paint an even more troubling picture. One South Korean newspaper, relying on sources inside North Korea, reported that dozens of citizens were publicly executed across multiple cities for nonviolent offenses. These included viewing foreign films or possessing banned religious materials. Citizens, including children, were allegedly required to attend these events, reinforcing the state's message about the consequences of ideological deviation. While verifying such reports is difficult due to the country's isolation, the accounts align with long-standing patterns documented by human rights organizations. Across all these incidents, a consistent theme emerges. The regime's actions are driven by two priorities: maintaining absolute control and preventing any ideological challenge. Whether the target is a family member, a high-ranking official, a citizen watching outside media, or a foreign visitor who breaks a rule, the response serves one purpose: reinforcing the authority of the state and the leader at its center. For outsiders, these decisions may seem extreme, even unimaginable. But for the North Korean leadership, they are part of a strategy rooted in maintaining a system where loyalty is non-negotiable, doubts are treated as threats, and the ruling family's authority must remain unquestioned. The world has long struggled to understand the inner workings of North Korea, a nation where secrecy is policy and information is tightly controlled. But the patterns that have emerged, severe punishments, political purges, and the suppression of outside influences, offer a window into a leadership style defined by absolute power. Kim Jong-un's decisions, often shocking to outside observers, reflect a system built on fear, ideology, and the elimination of perceived threats before they can grow. As we examine these events, we are reminded of the profound impact political systems can have on individual lives. The stories that reach the outside world are few, yet each reveals a landscape where loyalty is enforced, dissent is punished, and the state's authority extends into every corner of daily existence. Thank you for joining this exploration. Stay informed, stay curious, and continue seeking deeper understanding of the world's most complex political realities.